Hugging can be complicated. Some people seem to use it as a way to offload their negative energy, which can feel overwhelming. I really value hugs that are mutual and supportive. However, I often don't know how I'll feel until I'm in the moment. What can I do about that? One of the things that I find really helpful is asking someone, are you a hugger? You can get a lot from what they say, and you can get a lot from how you feel, right? So sometimes just out of nervousness, like if we don't know someone, we're like, oh, let's just give a hug and let's just acknowledge someone. And while that's not bad, it's just, I think it's important to say, hey, are you a hugger? And when they go, no, or, they're like, and I've done it where I said, are you a hugger? Like as I'm hugging them, and I'm like, oh, and they said, no, oh gosh. Okay. And then I just apologize. And I say, I'm really sorry. I should have waited to hear your response. But what I found really fun about that, and again, this is just my personal experience, is that person then, when they left our interaction, allowed for another hug. And so they said, I don't ever hug. And so it worked out well. But there's cases where I have gone to hug someone and I know what you mean. You feel those little, like the little hooks that go in, and you're like, wait, what is that? And depending upon where you're at in your spiritual journey, there's a lot of things that you can do. Like if you really feel like it was a really negative interaction and feeling, I would go home and just sage yourself. Like that's also just a nice, smudging if you got Palo Santo or something like that. And just do that. I wouldn't give it a lot of attention, in that the more you dwell on it, like the more impact it can have on you. You may know from my book, Angels, Herpes, and Psychedelics, I've had a lot of experiences with black magic and about, do we say that it's real? Do we not say that it's real? And if we say it's real, then are we giving it more power than it should? And so I think it's about transmuting energy. It's about acknowledging that there is dark and acknowledging that there is light, and not necessarily looking at it as bad. So if you've hugged someone and you feel like, ooh, that energy was just not good, just sage yourself and then, noted, like, oh, that person's not someone. And then if you encounter them again, like if they're part of a community or whatever, just have something that's true to you. I'm not suggesting you lie in any way, but something that's true to you that you can say to them. And maybe that is something like, today I'm really feeling like it's not something I'd like to do. And that's true, right? And it may be that you go and you hug someone else. And so there's, kind of that little jostling that you have to do. And since I'm just sort of extrapolating what that could look like, I don't have specifics for you, but what I'm getting at is having the feeling inside of you and trusting that. Because if you don't trust, like, oh, no, I don't want to hug that person, but then you hug them, then it creates a negative dynamic for both of you. And so I think just saying, you know what, I'm not feeling that right now. That's true. I'm not feeling it. I'm not feeling it with you right now, but you don't have to say you, that might come across a little harsh. Yeah. And I think overall, the more hugs we can do, probably the better. And again, kind of back to what we talked about earlier, I think it's about, where are you spending your time? Who are you spending your time with? And is it resonating for you? So if you're at a yoga studio and like there's nobody in there that you want to hug, then maybe it's the wrong yoga studio. So you're doing the right activity, you're just not necessarily with the right crowd. And so I think tuning into that will be helpful, and will start to get you into more situations, where it's not as complicated. And here's the other thing is, a lot of us who are really open and really resonating with our own self, we are such easy huggers. And we just have to acknowledge that some people, it's not good or bad if they don't want to hug you. They're just not there within their body because they've had trauma and they're not in touch with that trauma. They don't know why they don't want to hug you sometimes, and just honoring that. And I think when you just see them and you make the eye contact, you can do just as good almost with sincere eye contact in seeing someone and making them feel validated, or helping them feel validated, as much as you could a physical hug. Yes, the physical touch is always nice. It always takes it to another level, but let's not discount the basics of eye contact and smiling and just going, oh, wow, thank you for sharing, and just acknowledging whatever it is that's on their mind. Each week. I am so excited that you're here with me. I love having you on live. I also love having you on replay, and I would love to know what your state of the heart is, because here on the show, we get to the heart of the matter. So if you go to bethbell.me, you'll be able to fill out the state of the heart assessment. You'll get some great tips and tools and the following emails. And there's a plethora of resources on the website. There's the Awakening and Healing Handbook, lots of tips, tools, techniques, and modalities that can help you on your awakening journey. Many other handbooks like the herpes handbook. I know a lot of people get, what are you talking about herpes? But it's also about the viruses of the mind, and whether you know someone that's in this situation or not, chances are you will have encountered viruses of the mind that we all need to let go of. So you can always schedule a one-on-one session with me as well on the website, bethbell.me. I'm wishing you bliss and love until we meet again next week at 11:11 on Sundays. Namaste.